everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the Star Wars, or I should say LucasFilm edition of the Castles, Capes, and Clones vlogcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Obi-Wan casting, Republic Commando pre-order, and more. We are Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. I'm Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
Same. Just, I was telling you earlier that these dialysis days kick my butt.
I can imagine.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But, keeping me alive, so that's the important thing.
Indeed.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and start with the news? Today is a very short news day, which again is fine and it's good, and probably, considering how tired I am, it's probably a good thing. StarWars.com has announced that the Obi-Wan series will start filming in April, and it has unveiled some of its cast. Notable are Joel Edgerton and Bonnie, I want to say Piesse, who played Owen and Beru Lars in the prequel trilogy, and they're coming back. But sadly, Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, is not coming back. He says he's happy for everybody that is coming back, but Jar Jar won't be in this series. So that's sad.
I mean, unless they go. Well, I mean, it makes kind of sense. Like, he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there'd be a reason for Jar Jar to be in Tatooine.
Right.
So unless Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine,
which could be. I mean,
which could happen, but I mean, I feel like his one mission right now is to make sure Luke is safe. So like leaving the farm, like I feel like it would be against what he's kind of like, because he's got a lot of guilt. I would say, but this cast is there's a lot of surprises. I mean, like, it kind of makes sense that Owen and Beru are in it. So Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Piesse are in it. We kind of speculated that, but it's good that it's finally confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever confirmed Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, but now it's confirmed, definitely.
Yeah. Moses Ingram. Kumail Nanjiani, who is in everything these days. He's going to be in Obi-Wan,
right?
Which is awesome. Indira Varma. That's another Asian American name there. Rupert Friend. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Sung Kang. Simone Kessel. And Benny Safdie. Am I pronouncing it that way? Safdie?
Sure.
So anyway, that's looks like a good cast.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with Moses Ingram, but it's rumored that she has a larger role in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Kumail, have you kind of mentioned, is in everything nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's surprising yet not surprising that he's in it.
Yeah.
Because he's known as a comedian, but we do know he's going to be in the Eternals.
Right.
And if you follow Instagram or whatever, you know that he got ripped for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Indira, we know from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Don't know anything about her character. Rupert Friend, if anything screams Imperial, he screams Imperial.
I know. Yeah, you just look at this picture. Call it Imperial.
Simone Kessel as a New Zealander, and that was another anything else she's been in.
Mm-hmm.
Benny is one of the directors and writers of Uncut Gems. Who, I mean, also an actor. Sung Kang. So he is from the Fast and the Furious series.
You from where?
The Fast and the Furious series.
Oh, okay. Nice.
He plays a character in that called Han Solo.
Well, how fitting.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. He's notably from Tokyo Drift, if you're a fan of that series, and also
yes.
I can't remember after that because then they kind of went out of order at some point, and then because he's very connected with Gal Gadot's character in Fast and the Furious. So
Tokyo Drift is the only Fast and Furious movie that I've seen, and I love it.
So weird. That's the one.
Yeah, which I hear is the most out of it's not as steeped in the storyline.
In fact, they had to when I say they said they filmed out of order because I don't think they ever had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But now that's all kind of tied together, and they figured out a way to make Tokyo Drift part of that series.
Okay.
So they basically told so Tokyo Drift is kind of like a weird side story that takes place in that universe. But he's one of the main characters on that one. But then they brought him back in another set of movies.
Yeah.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. Do you know who that is?
I know the name, but I can't think of where I know him from.
His father, O'Shea Jackson, I'm assuming that's his name, but his stage name is Ice Cube.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you were talking about in your cryptic Facebook message.
Yeah, the Ice Cube Jr. is in a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he. I think the only thing I remember him from is that he played his father in the Straight Outta Compton movie, which is pretty good. He plays his father, but he's pretty good in that. So
yeah,
it's a pretty good, diverse cast.
Yeah, it looks like a great cast.
I just don't know what any of them are, except for obviously Hayden Christensen, Joel, and Bonnie,
and Kumail Nanjiani.
I don't know who he is.
I
don't know who they're playing. I don't know any of the characters or what kind of story they're going to tell or whatnot. So excited. It's starting filming in April.
Yes.
And
we'll get more information soon.
Hopefully.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, the UK site Daily Mail has released some aerial footage showing Andor being filmed in the United Kingdom. And do you want to take us through some of these photos? Because I don't actually know what I'm looking at.
I don't think anyone knows what we're looking at. I mean, we see a corridor of buildings. I see some stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole bunch of people in maroon attire. So I don't know if that's a group of people, soldiers. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, we're looking at practical sets, right? So they're not. I don't know how much of the volume they're using, but I mean, judging by this, they have actual sets. So it's kind of interesting.
Probably for closer up stuff, they probably want to use more practical stuff. And then for the wider shots, they'll use volume. That's my guess.
I mean, it also could be that when they started this production, they didn't really, I don't say didn't know about the volume, but wasn't part of their plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think the development of this was concurrent with at least not season 1 of Mandalorian, but before maybe it had aired. so it wasn't like everyone's talking about the volume.
Yeah.
Because even like from what we've seen them show in sizzle reels, there's a lot of practical sets, probably more than we've seen for the Mandalorian. In fact, there's probably not a lot of practical sets for the Mandalorian, not as much as Andor that we've seen.
Yeah.
So it just would be a difference of production. So
it looks pretty cool, though. Can you put a link to that in the show notes?
Nope.
All right. Well, there was a new trailer that was released for Star Wars, this new Star Wars animated series, The Bad Batch. And I'm assuming that you watched it.
Of course.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
Yep. I thought it was great. Although I have no idea what's happening, but you know, I don't want to know until I watch it.
Yeah.
It gave me just enough information to be excited about it.
I mean, the story takes place after Revenge of the Sith, so this is post Order 66.
Yes, that's what I figured.
I mean, they looked like they were demoing themselves in front of Tarkin. So we're going to see Tarkin in this. And if you don't want to know anything, probably stop listening for a second or two, because there's certain plot points I don't think they've hit upon before. But I mean, it's in the trailer, so I mean, it's spoilers if you don't want to know anything at all. But the trailer does show, Tarkin saying that,
you wanted them eradicated.
They want them, eradicated. So they're not. Yeah. I mean, like I think everyone kind of speculated that these guys wouldn't play along with the Empire,
right?
Because they are different. It's unknown if they somehow, because of their genetics, I mean, they're the Bad Batch because their genetics were different, right? So they're clones, but they're not the same as their other clones.
And I love that. I love the fact that they're, they march to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah. But yeah, it's looks like they're against the Empire. When that happens, I don't know. But we do see some familiar faces in it, besides Tarkin. We do see Fennec Shan, and we do see Rex in there. So we know Rex is going to show up at some point.
Yes.
Which, honestly, when I saw him, that was a moment when I'm like, yes, even though it made sense that he would show up somewhere. What we do know is that the premiere, which is on May 4th, Star Wars Day, is going to be a 70-minute premiere.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah. Any ideas of who that little girl is?
Oh, yeah, the little girl. No.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was confused. Who the little girl was, but I don't want to know who she is either.
Yeah, I don't think she plays anyone that we know. I don't think she's anyone that we know now.
Right.
There's always been speculation, of course, but I don't think
Luke Skywalker.
It's Mephisto. That's who
Mephisto.
It is. That's who it is, people.
Yes, exactly. All right, yeah. Well, very exciting stuff. And speaking of things coming to Disney Plus soon, I just saw this Friday is when all of that Star Wars content is coming. Caravan of Courage, the Ewoks, all of the I can't remember the exact names of the Wookiee story. I forget what it's called, and all of those are coming on Friday. This Friday.
Yep, April 2nd.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because I thought that I for some reason in my head I pictured it being later on in April. So when I
Oh,
was looking at the thing, I said, "Wait a minute, we're talking about this week."
yep. They didn't space it out at all. They're like,
Yeah,
here you go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome.
What are you gonna watch first?
I'm probably going to watch the Ewoks animated series.
I'm gonna watch that Wookiee thing.
Or yeah, actually, I might start with that. I might start with that, and then I don't know. Gosh, so many. I'm like really, really curious about Caravan and Courage and the what is it called? The Battle of
Battle
Endor.
of Endor.
Yeah, I'm really curious about those. Like, because I remember I loved them when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I have no idea how I feel about them now, and I'm really
Right.
curious to, is it going to be another holiday special, or is it going to be, you know, something more
I
than that?
just remember. I remember like like it was Star Wars, so that's why I loved it. Like it didn't matter
Hmm.
that it didn't make sense. It didn't matter,
Yes,
and and I like the Ewoks. So, but I don't
exactly.
remember. I don't remember a lot of it, and they both movies blend together for me because I don't remember what's going on. I remember going. There was some weird thing with the cast where
Hmm.
they didn't all make it through to the second movie,
Right.
and I remember there was a narrator in one of them. Also, the Wilford Brimley was in it at some point. I don't remember which one, but he was there. So um, I'm excited to watch it. At the same time, I'm scared to watch it because
I
I'm
know
like,
that's exactly it. It's like I'm excited and terrified at the same time.
oh,
But
what if I like hate it so much?
yeah, I'm
So
just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of put it in the holiday special realm, and
yeah,
hopefully everything from there will look up.
yeah. Hopefully, hopefully we'll get droids at some
Yeah,
point.
I would love
Also,
to. Although I'm super excited about Ewoks.
yes,
Super excited about it. I remember
Princess Kanisa.
Princess Kneesa.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Erin Kellerman, who is the playing the villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she said in an interview that she would be absolutely up for returning as Star Wars. Uh, I can never pronounce his name. Enfys Nest.
Yep.
Okay, good. Who was in Solo, as people will remember. He
Yeah.
was at the end of Solo and
Yeah.
part of the rebellion.
And I would say she's probably one of the founders of the rebellion.
One of the founders of the rebellion.
Yeah.
So
Not much
yeah.
is known about her story past that, and I would like to see the beginnings of. Part of me hopes that she shows up in Andor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, so I watched the interview when she said this, and she's very good at dodging questions about future things because they kept
Yeah.
asking her about who do you want, you're now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who would you like to see your character meet, and she
Mm-hmm.
dodged it very well, because she doesn't want to say anything because anything she says could be taken as, oh, he's that person's in it.
Right.
um
Exactly.
so like she's like, they always ask, like, is there any plans for Solo 2? And she's like, not that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know she's a big part of the rebellion. We know Andor is going to be a story about the rebellion.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it does like Solo doesn't take place too far in the future from when Andor would have been working.
No.
So she can very well show up. If she's a big major part of the rebellion, I hope she shows up in
Yeah,
some
I do
form.
too. I do too. There's so many unanswered questions from Solo that
Well,
we really need to have expanded upon. And
yeah, because I would like the two standalone movies, Rogue One and Solo. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because like a lot of people really, really love Rogue One. Not to say I don't like it. It's my probably my I don't like least favorite, but it's not on my top list.
Mm-hmm.
Only because really I feel like we didn't get the story that we wanted in a weird way. Like the promise of the rebellion kind of started iffy. Like there wasn't like a story about the rebellion in my mind. Like Jyn Erso's, I think, story was just muddy at best.
Yeah.
Andor, like all the characters except for maybe Baze and Chirrut were like I didn't really mourn any of her losses, you know. Where
I mourned Chirrut and Dave.
Right, except for those two.
Oh, except for those. Sorry.
Right, even like Riz Ahmed's character, I felt like he's probably the third one. K2SO, fine, but I mean he was like really comedy sidekick.
Yeah.
I didn't have an emotional tie to Jyn Erso or Andor, which I'm hoping the Andor series changes. Because I really like the actor
Diego Luna.
Because he just paints the rebellion in a negative light. All that movie was basically making you think the rebellion is terrible. All the people involved are terrible.
Yeah.
So it kind of took the hope out of the rebellion, you know, which was the tagline for that movie, and it did the opposite. You know, it was like rebellions are built on hope. Now, where was it? It's like the Superman movies. You can't just tell me it's about hope and not have hope in your movie. That's why I think, to me, the Rogue One missed its mark. There's characters in there I want to know about. I want to know more about Jyn Erso. I want to know more about, Andor. And speaking of Rogue One, to go back to the Bad Batch, we did see Saw Gerrera in that trailer as well. So.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah. I forget what his line was, but he was the one who was handed one of them a gun at some point.
Okay.
Because he looks more like the Clone Wars version of him, the younger version of him. So but it's like there's a transition, right?
Right.
So you're seeing the young version of the Clone Wars, and now you can see where they're kind of shifting him to look more like the Forrest Whitaker,
right,
character. And then same thing with Solo. Like, it was a fun movie, but there's so much promise in it that went nowhere. But we're hoping, like the Lando series will, at least explore Lando more. But I like what was going on with Emilia Clarke and Darth Maul.
Yeah, that I think is the biggest unanswered question from Solo.
Yeah, I want more singing fish in a jar. I mean, if we never get a Solo and Chewie series, give us what happened with like the Crime Syndicate and like all that, the underground, the kind of show that like George was working on before all this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's my 2 cents.
All right. Well, the final story we have today is that Republic Commando is up for pre-order on April 16th. And the collector's edition will have a enamel thermal detonator pin, a collectible coin, a poster art cards, and a Lucasfilm logo USB flash drive.
Yeah, you had it right the first time. A poster and art cards.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it was poster art cards. So anyway, that's pretty... I would just want it for the pin.
Cool pin. When I say Lucasfilm flash drive, it's literally the Lucasfilm logo, but it's a flash drive. Nice.
Actually, I would love all of this stuff.
Yeah. It's available on PC and consoles. I think the PC version of it is being sold in a blister pack. So it looks like the old figure blister pack.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of cool. And it's a good, I mean, it's an older game, obviously, but it's a fun game. You know, I think they remastered it, so that'd be kind of cool to play that game again. But you're basically a squad of clone troopers,
right?
Doing on various missions. But I remember it being fun. So
very cool.
Looking forward to getting it and playing it again.
I know. I might have to get it just for the ancillary items that you get. Because when I look at
this is a collector's edition, so these are more expensive than the normal edition.
Darn it! Why do you have to tell me this?
Which, I mean, it's a remake or remaster, so maybe it's not as much as a normal game. Because most collector's editions run over $100, just to let you, just to give you an idea. Because even myself, I'm like, I want to pay that much more for it. Like, how much?
The answer is yes. So. The answer is always yes, Rich.
Well, when it comes to paying over $100 for something, I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Like the flash drive, and like, do I ever use a flash drive nowadays? Not really.
Right. But it's a Lucasfilm logo.
That's true, but you know, in my old age, I've had to curb my desire for things I'll never ever use because
I know
I have nowhere to keep anything anymore.
Oh, excuse me.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of our episode, and if you please leave us a comment as to what your favorite story of the day was. And let us know if you agreed with us, if you didn't agree with us, just as long as it's not hateful. We'd like to hear people's different opinions and things like that. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, hit the bell for notifications and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Share our posts with your family and friends. And you can reach us on podcasts at castlescapesandclones.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, both good and bad, like we talked about, just no hate. And you can reach me personally on Twitter at Lojav and on Instagram at Loren Javier. How about you, Rich?
You reach me on Twitter and Instagram at R2Romasanta.
All right. Well, the opinions expressed on today's vlogcast are solely our own and do not represent the Walt Disney Company, its subsidiaries, or assets. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you later. Bye.
Yep. May the Force be with you.